Right, following up from if statements, we're going to be looking at something called the if-else statement. So you might remember from the last lesson that if it gives you an answer that you want, if something like say a number is greater than this, you print out this, but it doesn't do anything otherwise. We're going to be looking at that otherwise part today and how you actually do it. So this is last time example. We've got a number. If the number is over 10, it will say your number is 10 or more. There's nothing new there. But what happens if you want it to be that there's something under 10? So you add this little else statement and you write your number is smaller than 10. Notice how the else is in line with the if, that is important, and notice how these two bits of code are indented. Essentially any bit indented will run. So if the number is greater than or equal to 10, it will run this bit. If it's not, it checks the else and then it runs this little bit instead, and that's the way it works. So if we typed in 15, for example, this is all considered true, and then it will say your number is 10 or more. If you only typed in 5, this is false, so it will just jump straight to else, the otherwise part, and print your number is smaller than 10. Let's look at some examples. So if 5 is greater than 4, it is, so it's going to print out yes. Is 5 greater than 4? Obviously it's not, so this is false, so it's going to try this bit instead. It's going to print no. Let's say we have a variable, we set it to 10, and it looks up the variable. So is number of cakes, which is 10, is 10 greater than 5? Yeah, it is, so it'll say that's enough cakes. See, we've got two variables, it can compare them both, so it will say is 5, so that's number of cakes 5, is greater than or equal to 5? Well, it is equal to 5, so it will say that's enough cakes. It's not going to run this bit at all, it's just going to, because this is equal, it's going to hit this, ignore this bit of code. What else have we got? Right, number of cakes, these are different numbers. Let's say they type in 5. If the user, now I know this is multiple lines, but it's just because it's squeezed in the PowerPoint. It really is just one line of code, this bit here. So type in, their goal is 20. Let's say they type in 5. So is 5 greater than or equal to 20? No, it's not. So because it's not, it's false, and it will run print not enough cakes. Not enough cakes there. Is 19 greater than or equal to 20? It's also under, but we'll say not enough cakes. Is 20 greater than or equal to 20? Because it's an equal sign there, it's true. If it didn't, it would be false, but greater than or equal to, so it's the equal bit here, so it will say that's enough cakes. And then any number over 20 is going to say it, so 678 is going to say it, 678,000 is going to say it. Where it gets interesting is minus 2. Minus 2 is less than 20, it works with negatives as well, and it's going to say not enough cakes. So let's look at the worksheet, if else statements number 5. I forgot to get this up, so please don't error. Of course it's errored. What I'll do is I'll just look up on my Word documents. Right, so first one, all you've got to do is copy the cell. This one, you write what you want your password to be here, and if you type in the wrong password, it won't work. So let's just quickly do that one. It's quite straightforward, but I want to just make sure everybody's on board. So password equals input, and then just write, this is the bit you have to fill in yourself, well, you're meant to, so I'll just say what is your password. That's where you put your question, and you say if password equals, emphasis on equals, because it's one equals here when you're setting a variable, but if you're checking a variable, so setting a variable is one equal, checking is two equals. We'll say if the password is egg, and then it will print, now you can make up the message just password accepted or something generic like that. Otherwise, you print out, oops, can't spell, sorry, wrong password. Let's run it. What is your password? Well, let's just type in anything for now. Right, this thing Oh, it almost says wrong. Oh, I just can't spell wrong. That's all it is. Never mind. So because what we typed wasn't the password, it's not egg, so it will say sorry. That's going to annoy me. I'm going to change that. It's going to say sorry, wrong password. If you run that again and we actually type in egg, it's going to work. It's going to accept it. That's what we want. Now, something to be careful with. We'll look at how to fix this later. If you type in egg, capital letters, it's not going to work. The same password, but we'll look at how to fix that in a later lesson. Other than that, I think most of the tasks are straightforward, so I'll just finish off here.